get a mic to. Start with Adam over here on the right.
Coach, we heard Coach Banks said Elijah Simmons the other day was in better shape, better condition. Number one, is that the case? And number two, are you more encouraged because he can compete better physically, or because that says something about a higher degree of dedication in him, that he's in better shape?
Obviously, I think, Elijah definitely has done a good job of, losing some of the weight, that he had gained. I think he's probably down 20 pounds, 25 pounds. But now we've got to get his motor to mirror the weight loss. The motor right now is still running at that same weight. So so that's the next thing, is to get him to move like he's lighter than what he was, like, what he was doing before. But it is good to see that he did have the discipline to do what they've asked him to do in the training room, in this weight conditioning, nutritionist, and all that. So now we just got to keep moving the needle in the right direction.
Vince, then Austin.
Coach, obviously there's always things to work on and things to improve on, but with guys that are returning, that familiarity with the program, the system, your expectations, how much have you seen that pay off in terms of technique here early on in practice?
Well, obviously, all of us, we have to, reassess everything that we're doing. Our expectations, obviously, I think maybe we exceeded some expectations, last year, but it's still not the expectations that we want, that we came to the University of Tennessee for. So we've got to raise the bar, and we've got to continue to raise the bar. I don't think any of those young men, when they signed to come to Tennessee, they signed to say they wanted to come and be a part of a 7-6 program. All right, they said they wanted to come and compete for championships, SEC championships, national championships. I know that's what I want. I know that's what Tennessee wants. I know that's what the expectation is. So we've got to continue to reassess everything that we're doing and make sure that we're continuing to move the needle in the right direction.
Coach, when you look back at last season, there were times where Tyler Beering was not consistent enough to be on the field regularly. Have you seen a different buy-in from him through 4 practices, 5 practices now?
I don't want to single just out Tyler. I think there were times when all of us were not consistent enough to be on the field, including him, not just him. But I have been pleased with Tyler thus far this spring. He's been more in line with what we want to do. He's been practicing harder. He's been competing. I think he's trying, he's straining, just like all the guys. But, we've just got to continue to raise our standards, and we got to expect more from each other. They have to expect more from me, and I've got to expect more from them.
Patrick on Coach's right.
Coach, with Omari Thomas, what kind of growth did you see from him over the course of your first year working with him, and what are you kind of looking for him to do moving forward to next season and working this offseason as well?
Well, obviously, I think Big O is a tremendous leader, and it's like I told him in the meeting room the other day. Everybody, I guess he's been crowned, I guess, one of the faces of the program. If you're going to be that, then to whom much is given, much is required. So he's got to make sure that everything that he does, meets those type of expectations. Because every play that he makes, it's going to be scrutinized. So he's got to make sure that he's on top of his game, and he's improving his game where he can help himself become a more elite level, championship level defensive lineman for this league.
Eric to Coach's left.
What have you seen from those younger guys so far? I know it's early, but Jordan Phillips, Tyree Wells.
I'm definitely glad that they came in January. That definitely gives them an opportunity to get acclimated to what college football is all about, the expectations. I think both young men, have talent, they have ability. I think they have the want to. Now they just got to get to learn how to do it and how to do it the Tennessee way and the standards that we expect and the effort that it's going to take to go out and compete and play at a championship level. But I've been pleased with both young men. You know, I think they're smart. I think they're grasping the system. So obviously them coming in, you know, when we get into fall camp, they'll be more seasoned veteran where they can hopefully have an opportunity to have some type of impact on our team.
West in the front, then Brent.
Rodney, I know you talked about expectations and wanting guys to meet them. Are there any guys right now in your group who are meeting those expectations, or anyone who's the closest, or guys that are closest to doing that?
I mean, I think all, you know, I want to make sure I'm clear on this. All the guys are working hard, all right, but we have to grow, all right, and we have to get better, all right? And that's what's expected. You know, time waits for no one. So we have to go out there every day. And our goal is, when we hit that field, we want to get better today than we were yesterday. You know, we got to go ahead and look at the film and see if we met that standard today, or did we not? You know, I do know this: we're too thin, and we're not talented enough not to get better every day, because our opponents are getting better. So, you know, we're not going to stay the same. So we have to get better, and we have to strain, and we got to get comfortable being uncomfortable, all right, so we can be comfortable later. And that's the standard, that's the expectation. And I'm not saying that guys are not working at it, but this is going to be always an ongoing case. And I don't think there will ever be satisfaction.
Rodney, is that step harder to take compared to a year ago, when it was just maybe trying to coach effort and getting them to understand that you got to play hard? Now you're trying to go to another level, if you will, or another standard. Is this harder in some ways than it is maybe your first year when you're just trying to get guys to play hard?
I think it's definitely going to be harder, you know, when you had so far to come from. So, you know, now as you've gotten closer, then to move those inches become more difficult. But the elite teams, you know, that's what the elite teams are doing. You know, they're taking care of the little things. I mean, you know, so every little minute detail, it does matter. And it matters in crucial situations. It matters in tough situations when you lose the game in the fourth quarter and you don't finish. You know, so just finding a way to strain, to find a way to win, all right? And that's what we're trying to coach, that mentality and that mindset, that we have to find a way to finish and come out on top.
How do you coach that? How do you create that mindset?
Well, it's just a competitive thing. We just got to keep putting them in competitive situations. We got to keep grinding. We got to, you know, keep raising the bar, letting them know that we're not going to accept mediocrity. I mean, that's not acceptable. You know, being average is not what any of us signed up for. You know, I didn't sign up for it. They didn't sign up for it. You know, so you know, just understanding what is the goal. I mean, we can't just give it lip service. You know, we got to be about getting it, and it's going to hurt. You know, to become great, they're going to have to grind. And, you know, and they're going to have to get in there and go through the fire and go through adversity and find a way to fight through it when they want to quit and when they want to give up. Now we got to find a way to pull through it, and the teammates got to help them pull through it. And getting it, we're doing it together.
Patrick on the right.
Coach, you talk about this process and it being harder. Last year you had Matt Butler and some other guys that were kind of the leaders, maybe the tone setters for your group. Who maybe some of those guys that are being that player-led and pushing their teammates for you guys this offseason?
Well, obviously we do miss Matt. You know, Matt was a great leader. You know, he's very durable, worked hard. You know, but now it's the next man up. You know, obviously, I think Omari has great leadership skills. You know, we need him to take that next step. But he has great verbal skills and leadership skills. He's natural at that. But now I need for his play to match that. Okay, because you know that's really when you're really a leader. Is when you play, you know, matches it and shows it. You know, but I think he has a chance to be a good leader. You know, I've seen development out of BY. You know, where he's come from from last year this time, and the growth that he's made. You know, it's been tremendous. But he still has a long ways to go. I mean, you know, because he was so far off Just watching him grow as a player and gaining confidence. I don't think he would ever be a verbal leader, but he could affect the room just by his play and just continuing to master his craft. So that's a way that he's got to help us. Tyler is a young man that should be a good leader for us, verbally and with his play. So, just understanding that, hey, you just can't talk about it and you just can't be a leader when the lights are on. You got to be a leader when nobody's looking and doing those little extra things that it takes, to be a champion.
And finishing there on the left.
What about a guy like Latrell Bumpus? He's been here a couple of years. Obviously, played a little last year, coming back this year. Saw him the first couple of practices, not so much here lately. What is he going to bring to your group this year?
Well, I think I think I'm going into year 33 right now, and Latrell Bumpus is probably one of the finest human beings I've ever had the opportunity to coach. He's a tremendous young man. I think he's he's a special person. Now, he's not so much a verbal leader at all. I don't even think he really likes that role. I think the program thing that Coach Hype has for the team that we put the guys through the offseason to develop leadership skills. I know this year they've really focused on him, putting him out front, making him be a leader, getting him out of his comfort zone. It's been good for him because he's just a guy that just does everything right. I mean, you don't have to worry about it. He ain't gonna skip reps. He ain't gonna do this. He's raised right. He's gonna do it right. But now putting him out front, making him be a leader and trying to challenge others to hold them accountable, it's been good for him to do that.
Thank you, Coach.
All right, thank y'all.